Hello everybody, welcome. Today we are in an event with Wild Honey Facebook group, and so the theme today is leather and lace. Now this is what I could figure out to wear that would be appropriate. So and it keeps flipping over, so that's just how that's going to be. But anyway, I did find something. But welcome to today's event. This is so much fun. It's actually a 2-day event, and so today and tomorrow. And so all of the people here will have, you can find on their Facebook page the information about the order of who is actually going live in the event, and it has the time frames. So following me today is Robin from Zimmy's Simple Designs, and she's going to be up after me. So, we just always have so much fun in these events, and when it's something like leather and lace, you never know what anybody is going to do. And then I just found out kind of towards the end, maybe it was yesterday, and they were asking which were you going to do, leather or lace. And so I didn't even know that was an option. So I'm doing both leather and lace. And so, I'm if you are new here, I'm Christy from My Artful Adventures, and I do primarily paper crafting, all kinds of things, which, that can mean anything from cards and mixed media, scrapbooking, just paper construction items, whatever. If it has paper, I'm into it. And then I also like to do some fun painting sometimes. So if you have not, if you aren't following me or you would like to subscribe, I would love that. I would love to have you in my community. And so we are going to get going here in just a second. I've got to bring this up here so I can see my comments, because what fun would it be if I can't see comments? And I've lost one of my deals here where the comments go. Let me see. Shoot. Okay, I got it. Got it. Thank you. Oh, look how many people are already here. Welcome, you guys. Lots of people that are probably new to me. So yeah, thank you for being here. Okay, so I don't wanna dilly-dally around here so that maybe I don't have time for what I'm doing. But and then part of the time I'll make something I'm thinking, oh, I've got plenty of time to do that, and then I'm rushing to the end, or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe I think that I'm not going to have time, and and then I had plenty of time, so you just never know. But today, so like I promised, we're going to do something that is going to be leather and lace. Now today I'm actually going to do faux leather. I have done, even though I do paper crafting, I have incorporated some real leather. I've been in another couple of these that were leather and lace. It's just such a fun theme. So here we go. We're down here on the workspace. And so what I did was I printed out, I found this really, look at this worn leather thing, and it looks like it's got stitching right down the middle. And I found this over in Canva. And there's so many pictures and images that you can use over in Canva, and even the free version. So don't forget that is something that is available, and it's not too hard to use. And there's lots of YouTube videos about how to use it. So be sure and check that out. Now I did want to start out today and talk to you a little bit about. So this is my paper I'm going to use, and I'm going to make a little traveler's notebook cover and then a little notebook. And so I've just got paper. This is a heavier weight paper. It's not super heavy. It is, it's 28 pound. I just got it at Walmart. So it's a 28 pound paper. So it's a little bit heavier of just a regular copy paper. We want to say copy paper. Well, still some of us want to say copy paper or typewriter paper. These days it's printer paper. So I wanted to show you, since I need for my paper to fit, I don't want to do any seams in it. I just want it to fit on this piece of paper, right? And so to do that, it doesn't matter. Okay, so back to this part. I just printed this out, and it doesn't matter that it hasn't come out to the edges, right? Because that's going to fold over on the inside. Oh my goodness, you guys, you're talking fast and furious here. And thanks for sharing me out. I appreciate that. Lois, Deborah's here. Hi, Donna. our country family roots. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name. There's Stephanie. Jeannie's here. Hey, Christy. Mandy's here. Diane, Nora, Debbie. Who else? Deborah. Another Deborah. Mary, Sue. Hey, everybody. Oh, thanks for popping in. Sherry's here. Lots of people. And if I didn't see your name, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And like I said, Robin's going to be up after me. If you are not, if you are watching the replay, let me know that you were here. I love knowing that you were here too. So now then, okay, so as I was saying, you want to figure out how you can make a single piece of paper work for a little notebook. And I don't care if it's, going to be super, super big. So what I like to do is I like it for it to have like an inch margin, because if it's an inch all the way around, I know I'm going to have plenty of it to fold over. Okay, so I'm going to just score it at an inch all the way around. You can just use your ruler and pencil, whatever. I just like to use my scoreboard because that way it gives me a starting point. Okay, and then I can just look at my scores. Okay, so I've got that. And I don't really need to do any scoring with this project, really. So now that I'm looking at where my score marks are, you can't see that one very good. Okay, so here's my scores. I've scored an inch all the way around. And now I want to find the center. And so my paper's 11 inches. So my center is going to be 5.5. So here's my center. And I thought about doing 1/2 inch for my spine and just do like one little signature. A signature is a group of, folded papers together. And then I thought, well, that makes a difference as to how it looks on the back side. So I decided to go a little bit more. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this part here now that I found that. And I'm going to do like a little more than 1/2 inch, so 5/8 of an inch really. So I make a little mark there and make a mark there, so I know. And so now I'm going to give myself a reminder that I'm going to do my spine at 5/8 of an inch, because I'll need to know how much to cut. So now I need to measure from this side, and it doesn't really matter. You don't have to allow for like where you're going to leave your chipboard pieces apart so you've got room to fold. It doesn't really matter at this point because we've left enough room here. This inch, it doesn't really matter. So what I want to do is I am going to make my my pages. Well, see, now I've got this messed up from before. I was thinking like 4 1/4. Let's just leave it at 1/2 inch. I'm just going to do 1/2 inch because then I can get 4 1/4 here. So I'm going to write that down so I can remember. So 4 1/4, so I know it's going to be the same on both sides. So I need 4 1/4 here and 4 1/4 here. And then what is my distance that I need for the height? So that's like 6.5 inches. So the height is going to be 6.5 inches both ways. So that's kind of how, how you figure out what you're going to do to make it work on a single piece of paper. And it doesn't matter how big your paper is, right? You're going to have the same, that's your same way that you're going to calculate no matter what size it is. Now, I'm going to get my big boy out here. I got this cutter that I use to do chipboard on. And chipboard, if you're not familiar with chipboard, a lot of times packaging has it. It's just heavier than, it's not corrugated cardboard. It is like just kind of pressed cardboard. I need to move this here so I can see my numbers. It's huge. Okay, so I'm going to push this up here. It's got a little latch that releases it over here. And so I need my pages to be 4 1/4. So I'm just going to bump it up there to 4 1/4. It's going to be, and then I just press it down and then pull it as many times as I need to release it. And this has got a rotary cutter, so that's kind of nice. You don't have to worry so much about those blades last a lot longer. So I'm going to cut another piece that's 4 1/4. See, by the time I explain all this to you, we will have used up a whole bunch of our time. Right? Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Oh, 40. Oh, nice. 42. Thank you, everybody. So that just falls off there. And then I need one. And I'm just going to make it. Oh, now this is the hard part. This is the one thing I do not like about this is when you're going to make little small cuts, you basically need to know how big this piece is. So this is 1, 2, 3.5 inches. So I need to cut this. I need this to just be at 3 inches to get my 1/2 inch off, because you can't really see it over there on the side. That is the one thing I don't like about this cutter. It's kind of hard to do small pieces. Okay, so now we've got our 1/2 inch spine, and then we need to make all of these pieces 6.5 inches tall. So I'm just going to cut that off there. I tell you, this woman does not have super long arms, so that's a stretch. My family's always teased me about that, especially my girls. And then we need this to be, okay, 6.5. Shoot, if it would have been just 6 inches, I could have just used one piece, because I buy these 12 by 12 pieces of chipboard. And then that, I gotta stand up, you guys. Okay, so we got that one, 6.5. And then one more. So we're just cutting these all to fit our measurements that we have already determined. So it's not going to be a super, big little book, but it's going to be a nice little size. A nice little size, and it's going to still be big enough to write in. Let me set this over here. Okay, so I got that put away. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do, just to make this easy to put together, I'm going to use some of this double-sided tape like this, and this comes in all kinds of widths. This is just going to make it really easy to put together and get it stuck down where we want it. And the paper is, you're not going to have any lumps or bulges or anything in your paper from glue marks or anything. And it doesn't matter if it goes like all the way there to the edge. It'll be fine. The tops and the bottoms. I am going to lift up this one piece here. I gotta pay attention to my time. Okay. Phew. Thanks for everybody for sprinkling it out. I appreciate that. Okay, so as we lift up our backing paper, then we've got that already there. It's ready to go. So what I wanted to do was just put a smaller, thinner piece on that last edge so that it does come all the way to the edges. And some of this, now this is that Sukwane tear. The thing I like about this, it's very similar like to the red line tape where it's got the red backer you pull off, but this is so much easier to deal with because red line tape you have to cut. I'm not really a fan of having to, use the scissors to cut every little piece, right? Okay. We got so many people here. Hi, Jamie. And Megan is here. We got so many of our friends today. I love these events. You know what? I am not normally in events on the weekend simply because I just don't know what's going to be going on at our house. My daughter and her teenage daughter moved in with us a little over a year ago, And so, there's no telling what's going on. And then my granddaughter and her little boy moved down here, and they're only about, I don't know, about 10 or 15 minutes from us, probably 15 minutes. So, the weekends are a time that there's no telling what we might all be wanting to do together, and or who's going to show up here. So I don't usually do things that are, I usually kind of do mid-morning, and that's about it. Mid-morning to late, or what am I trying to say? I'll get it out here. Mid-morning to early afternoon, because sometimes I might even have to do a kid pickup at high school. Just never know. So, okay. And then we'll do this other little one again here. Just lift this up. Now, I could have had all of this done, but I really did want to show you how to measure that and get it cut so you could, a lot of times you see something like this and you're not really sure exactly how they started. And sometimes that's kind of the important part. I hope you agree. But thank you so much ladies, for having this event for us today. This will be so much fun. I've already enjoyed seeing what everybody has made before me. There's been some fun things. I think Mary was talking about the funny things that they are writing in, in the chat that we have going for, getting ready for the event and everything. Okay, now I need this one. Need my spine. Now, let me make sure that's the, yep. I thought I had another thinner piece of this than this. Well, that's okay. We'll just use 2 of these. Yeah, that's a little bit too wide. And that would be fine. It would work. But I like it to just be a little bit closer to what I need. Oh, what I started to say, this is that Sukwane tear tape, and you can get other things anymore. So many places have many things that we need to use as crafters. So it has made it kind of nice, because some of these things used to be pretty dang expensive. And, or even if they weren't expensive, if you were using a lot of it all the time, you were always having to spend money on that. So, okay, so let's tear this off a little bit. Alrighty. And pick these off. Okay. You just take those little things off, just pull them off. If you press them down, like just press them down really good. Oh no. After I just said, if you press them down really good, that lifts off pretty easy. Now, look at that. That was interesting, because I used that different brand and had a harder time getting that up. There we go. And they're so sticky, you guys, but I don't have to use any more glue or anything like that on these parts. Now, sometimes, though, I will say you can put a tiny bit of glue on, too, and it gives you just a minute of wiggle room. But you don't want to use a lot, because then you'll just make globs and bumps and everything else, right? Oh, phew. What am I using the tape for? These are pieces of chipboard that I have cut. We talked about how to determine the size of a little notebook that you might want to make. So basically, we're making a little hardcover traveler's notebook style cover is what we're doing right now. And so now is the time. Okay, so we're gonna put this, I kind of wish I would have, let me grab the scoreboard back out and make a score to get me started. That'll give me one straight line to get going. So I think that would be helpful. So I'm just going to score at 1 inch. Okay. And you know what? I'm gonna make a mark at where the center is too. So this is 11 inches, so 5.5 is my center mark. So I'm just gonna put it right down to the score line. You guys, these are so sticky, they're sticking everywhere. Oh, phew. Oh, you did a crochet one. Oh, I haven't crocheted in so long. Okay, so now here we go. So here's what we're gonna have. And look at this, isn't this cute? It looks like we've got a stitching down the spine, you guys. All right. Oh yes, I tell you, wasn't Mary's project fun? I loved it. Her little boots. So I'm just gonna put this up here, just kind of eyeball it, make sure it's somewhat straight. And actually, you know, you can line, if you've got some of these things with these grids on them, you can line up your grids and just kind of, you know, look from one thing to the next and kind of line them up. So we've got that down there, and then we're going to put this one to the side, and you have to leave a tiny bit of room to the side because it has to have room to bend. So I would say you want about 1/8 of an inch. It certainly has to be as thick as what the chipboard is. So about 1/8 of an inch, or, you know, something similar. And now I've got it up there on that score line, kind of to use that for a guide. And do this one over here. That one's got kind of, this one is a little bit far, but that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to trim off these edges, kind of like making miter corners, and just come very close down here to the corner. Oh, I can't get it going. Boy, I tell you what, that's having a hard time getting that. That dull's probably kind of dull. The blade's kind of dull. And then over here, and just come, you know, really close to the corner. And I tell you what, you can also keep your corners, because if you end up and you can see your chipboard, if you've got a corner, you can fix it. Boy, I'm having a hard time getting these angle cuts today. I don't know what the deal is. Yes, everybody says that. Sandy, you get out your paper and play with it. Alrighty. Okay, so now we've got those. And now what we want to do is we just want to kind of start training our paper. I'm telling you, that is way too much of a gap right there, but you know, it's going to work. It'll be fine. Now we're just going to kind of gently train the paper over the edge. Okay, so we can get it to start to bend. So you don't really, that's why I said you don't really need to do any scoring. We're just gonna let all the parts do the work for us. Oh no, you messed up your first journal. Well, just try it again. It's just paper, right? It's just paper, you guys. Okay. Are you talking about this one? This, I tell you what, I saw somebody use one of these. I have never been a fan of using an X-Acto knife. To me, they're dangerous. And I'm like, hey, I think I could do that. I think they call it a finger blade. But yeah, if I need to use an X-Acto knife, that's what I like to use. Okay, so now we are going to take some more of this tape, and we're just going to run it along the edges here. Let's just make it easy on ourselves. Put some more of the tape down, so we don't have to mess around with glue on this part. And you know, if that's all you've got is glue, use it. I'm a big proponent of using what you have, except let me lift this liner up, or it's not gonna, my other piece isn't gonna be where I need it. Oh my goodness. I got glue or something all burnt up on the end of my little tool here. It looks like a dental tool, doesn't it? I found a pack of these little sharp things at Hobby Lobby, or not Hobby Lobby, Harbor Freight. And when I saw them, I'm like, oh, well, that looks like Cricut tools to weed out your excess stuff if you've cut some vinyl. So I thought, well, I need that. So that's where that came from. There was something else I found one time at Harbor Freight too. I was there with my husband, and I don't even remember what that was. Something similar. There's, you know, sometimes at the hardware store or something, you can find, you know, stuff that's handy for your crafting needs. What have you guys found something in an unexpected place that you use a lot? Tell me what's something that you found that, you know, other people would not have maybe thought about using there. The slice cutting tool, is that one of the Cricut things? Is that the one, the slice? Is it one of the smaller Cricuts or something like that? I'm not sure. It sounds familiar. But no, whatever it is, no, I haven't. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and we're going to fold these over. Actually, I'm just going to bend it up again. There we go. And I'm going to start it from the middle and then work its way out. Same thing here. Start it from the middle. I'm not so sure that my stitch part is going to be right in the middle where I had hoped it would be, but it'll be close. It's a cutting tool that has a ceramic blade. No! Well, no, I haven't then. I'll have to check that out. Okay. All right. So now we've got that there. And now we need to cover the inside. And all I'm going to do for covering the inside is I'm going to use the same paper. But I will have to trim that down. So, and I don't need it to go all the way out to the edge. Let's see what we need to do here. We need to, let's see. I'm going to make this about 6 by 8 3/4. So 6 by 8 3/4. So, well, shoot. You know what? I need to figure out. Oh, here, let's do this. Let's see where the middle is there. Because I want to make sure I get my little stitching kind of in the middle here. Okay. So now, well, I marked that in a goofy spot, you guys. Well, no, I didn't. Okay. Turning the paper every which way. Okay, there. So now I need this to be, oh man, you guys, if you watch me very much, you know I can't remember numbers. 8 3/4. There we go. So 8 3/4, 8 3/4, unless I say them 50 times. You guys, you know, back in the olden days when we had phone books, we had a place out on the counter, and the phone, you know, was on the wall, and there was this funny little counter desky thing under it. And I tell you what, I had to take the phone book right there where, you know, where I knew where it was, because if I didn't, I couldn't remember 7 numbers in a row to go dial somebody's phone number. So yeah, I'll be like, wait, was that a 6 or a 9? I don't know. But I don't know. I have since come to find out that I'm not the only one like that. Now this time, maybe we will just glue this one in. I don't mind if this one is just glued in. Although that's going to be a lot to cover. I put such a little bit of this glue on that it's gonna start to dry before I get enough on here to put it on here. And I use, what do I use? Reptile glue. It comes in a much bigger container, and I just put it in these tiny needle nose bottles, and it works great. It sticks pretty quick, so I don't have to worry about that. And it really holds well. But I like using liquid glue because it gives me just a minute to, get it where it needs to go. But it'll be stuck pretty dang fast. So let's get it over here, flip it around, and put it on here. Okay. So now, it looks like we've got our leather cover, you guys. There we go. We've got our leather cover all fixed up here. Woohoo! More than three numbers. And surprisingly, though, I was able to memorize like my bank account number, the whole thing. But then I don't have that bank account number anymore. Oh, my husband, when he had to get a new phone number when we moved down here, I still have my same phone number I've had forever, from in Minnesota, moving to Denver. I've just had it for a long time. So everybody, I'm the only one still that has the same phone number. But when he was showing me the phone number, what it was, he showed me that it was actually a pattern. I'm like, oh, I can remember the pattern. I'm like, how in the world am I going to remember a whole phone number and the area code? The area code I know, but what about the new phone number? And then he showed me that it was a pattern. I'm like, oh, I can do a pattern. So now we just want to rub this in here and start to give it a little bend so we can have our spine. Do the other side here. Wait, where is it? I can't feel where it is. We'll just give it there. We'll start to bend it. Now this is not sticking like it should. Okay. Ta-da! So then I can decide which side of this I want to use. But that's not all. I've got a cute little piece of lace. You guys, I found this top at a garage sale, and so I as soon as I saw all this real heavy applique and the really heavy woven lace, I'm like, oh, I gotta have that, not to wear. I want to chop it up. And the lady goes, I don't know how, and I didn't even pay as much as she wanted for it. She goes, isn't it beautiful? I go, well, it sure is. But I didn't tell her what I was going to do with it. Oh my goodness. What did I do with my piece I cut out? Oh, I've got it. Oh, you guys. What happened to it? Oh, I picked it up and I don't know what happened to it. I was so excited to show you the whole thing. There it is. Okay, so it was sewn on there. Some parts of it were sewn. It had that net stuff under it. Now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it. I'm not going to try and, fold it over, because even if I would have tried to have done that and put it under, our liner, it would have been so thick. So I didn't really want to do that, right? Hi, Patty. How are you? So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to cut it like this, and then we'll just glue it on here. And let me see. I'm just going to cut this part down here. And we'll just kind of, and you know what? I don't care if it's super straight, crooked, whatever. Now I'm going to put a tiny bit of glue along here. Now what I like to do sometimes is I'll just squeeze a little bit of glue in my finger and just tap it on here so it doesn't, unravel. And that's all I do. And it'll dry clear and it'll stay just fine. Okay, so we've got that part. And then we need to cut off this part at the top. That one, let's see. You know, I feel like, I'm afraid I'm going to get it too long. I think it's going to kind of, I think it'll kind of stretch out to where we might need it. So that's just kind of a guesstimate, you guys. And it's not very even. Let's put that part on the bottom. And that is still, I've got too much going on. Probably needs about 1/8 of an inch. Oh, you guys, you know what? Well, I've got a rotary trimmer somewhere right here handy, but it's not that handy. I don't see it handy. Now this one is going to take a little bit more dabbing. You guys, I'm not gonna, we gotta hurry along here. Let's get to our other part here. I'm gonna let this dry a second before I try and glue it on. So tap, 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 tap. You guys, I am sorry. I am not, I will go back and look at comments, and if you have any questions or anything, I am just really sorry. I have not been participating with you very well. I apologize. Whew. Okay, let's let that dry for a second. Okay, let me get some of that off my hand. All right, now we need something. How are we going to put the pages in? We are going to make this a slip spine, and so we are going to. I want all my pages. We're going to make a little hole right here. I'm going to try to do 2 of them together, really close to each other. I don't know. That seems, I don't know. If you have 2 of them together, it is a prettier way to finish it off with your, with your cord. So there's one. I hope I can get 2 of these in this little 1/2 inch space. I don't know, they're not going to be very even, you guys. What the heck? It just keeps moving. I get it right there and then it moves. Okay. So we got 2 there. I need to put 2 down here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And it, you know, and you guys, it's just paper. All right, they're not super even. Okay, so now we need to put in our little eyelets real quick. I saw I've got some kind of coppery brown ones. So there's 2. Okay. And then we just put those in there, and a Crop-A-Dile has, it comes with a little sheet that tells you all the different, you know, the little cube things move all around, and you have to know which ones go with which. And so I always keep my little sheet, you know, where I know where it is, because I can't remember those dimensions, or not, I don't remember the, you know, which little setting goes with which. Okay, and then we're just, and I already did set it for this, so we go like that, put this one in here, and then I'll show you real quick how we're going to do the slip spine. I'm not going to have enough time to do the, I'll go ahead and record it, and you guys can come back if you want to see the pages. All right. Okay. And now I'm trying to hurry and I'm getting nervous. I'm getting all jittery. Okay, so now then we just take some elastic. And I wish I had a different color because the dark color isn't going to be that pretty in my pages. But I can always change it out. I can always swap it out. And why this is in a big bunch like this, I don't know. But this is what you want to do. You want to, okay, go in from this side here. And go up and out. Go in from the back. And now I need enough I can do the other side. And then from the back, put it right here. And this way you've only got this tiny amount of elastic showing on the back side, right? And then just kind of pull it tight because you want it to, you know, have a little bit of spring, so to speak. And just tie a knot. And if you have something that'll kind of coordinate with your pages you're doing, that's kind of nice. Okay, so we got that part done. And for our pages, I just printed out a bunch of stuff for my pages. I did these in Canva. And you guys, I wanted to show you something important. When I decided the size my pages were, I made a custom size in Canva and I made the page the size I needed it. When I printed it, print this size at 100%. Now your back side, you can just let it go ahead and, you know, do the other thing. Obviously, you would have to do this and, you know, run them through twice. Don't use like a double-sided feature on your printer if you want the back side bigger. Because a lot of these pages that I did not do that, and then I had to go back and trim them off because then they weren't right. And I just made a whole variety of these, you know, pages like that, and then to be able to put them together, we're just going to use a little bit of this. This is waxed linen thread. You can use other things too. I think a lot of people like to use like embroidery floss or, you know, whatever. If you're not trying to make it to last for the ages, it doesn't really matter. And you want about 3 times the length of your booklet here. And I like to always take my end. I made a slot here so I can just pull that in there and it doesn't get lost. I know where it is for the next time. So now what you want to do is take your book, and I'm going to use something, if I could have something spongy, I'd rather. I don't see anything. Shoot. I've got to get out my little pokey tool here, you guys. And there is a spongy thing there, so that'll be fine. And we're going to just make 3 holes in this. It's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And I like to, you know, get them, set your pages however you want them, and then make sure that they're all together here in the center. And then just kind of, I'm going to do one over here on this, about, you know, 1/2 inch or so. And just poke it all the way through. Do one down here. And then just kind of eyeball it and do one in the center. You can do it exact if you want to. And then if you want your tie to be on the outside, you need to start on the outside. So we're going to start from here, start in the center, go through, come out one end like this. Go all the way down here through this one. Like that. And then back through this same hole, and you want to put it on, make sure that your long string is, you've got it between these 2 right here. And then I like to leave some thread in my needle so it helps me find it. I don't like it just loose. And then, oh, I didn't almost, oh my goodness, I barely left enough to tie there. I got kind of carried away with my scissors. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. That's going to be, oh goodness. At least I left one. And just tie that in a square. Oh, try to tie it in a square knot. Oh my goodness. See, you know, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you're trying to hurry, right? Okay, so there we go. Got that. Trim that off. And now what happens is you can put these little goodies in here. And now I've got room for 2 of them, actually. So we've got 2. And like I said, it would be prettier if it was white. And then you can put this in here. What I like to do is I like to use a corner rounder, because if you're using this elastic stuff, the corner rounder on these makes it an easier little place for it to slip through. So I just snip that off. Oh, man, that was hard. And let's do this one, and then you'll see what I mean. And I will do the other ones of this. And you can take something and you can slice these and make them all even. But here we go. You just put this in here, and then you can swap them out. You can make more than one. And this is a nice little size because it's wide enough to write in. So I like that. And I got to still glue this on. You guys, thanks so much for joining me today, and thank you for letting us all participate in this Wild Honey event. This has been marvelous. So let's go over and check out Robin and see what she is doing over in Zimmy's Simple Designs. You guys, have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye. I'll get it glued on. Bye-bye. Oh my goodness. Where do I turn this off? Got it.